and welcome to Rodeo Drive-Thru Hollywood News. I'm your host, Rodeo Marie Hanson. Today, we're at the FM Kirby Center in Wilkes Barre, PA, for the special screening of The Night of the Living Dead. My special guest is an actress who has been on stage, screened both in film and television and on radio. She has also enjoyed a successful career in business communications. But she's probably best known as Barbra in the cult classic horror movie Night of the Living Dead. Hey Gus, back to the beginning. How did you first get interested in acting?
Oh, I think when I was born, I always wanted to be on the stage. Even when I was just tiny. I can remember when I was 5 years old, sitting on the stoop of my great-grandmother's house back in Ohio. I'd rock and sing. I'd pretend that I was already on the stage. So it happened very early in life.
That's really great. You starred as Barbra in Night of the Living Dead, the original zombie movie that started the genre. Tonight, we're celebrating the film with you, other members of the cast, and as fans. What is something you can tell us about the movie that people would be surprised to know, and where you were during filming, what a massive hit it would go on to become?
I'm going to flip-flop that and answer the second part of that first. I don't believe any of us involved in the making of the film, from George Romero to myself, Russ Striner, Kyra, all of us, had no idea that the film would grow in popularity as it has, and now here it is, over 50 years old. We never dreamed. So this is a very exciting, wonderful thing in our lives now, to realize so many people still love the film. As far as something I can remember, something that they would not know, we used to have to carry water in buckets from the creek, or I'll have to find out exactly where we got that water, but we had to use that to flush the toilet upstairs because we didn't have any proper plumbing. So anytime you saw somebody grabbing a bucket, you knew exactly what they were going to do.
Wow, I never knew that. How important is music education in the arts in schools, and what advice do you have for a young person who dreams of a career in the entertainment industry?
Oh, music, to me, is one of the most important things in life. Without it, I don't truly see how we can survive. Therefore, I am a very strong supporter of continuing music training from elementary school all the way up through high school. I think it's not only important, I think it's mandatory. What advice might I give? If you really love what you do, whether it's singing, acting, playing a musical instrument, give it your best, give it your all. But most importantly, be uniquely you. Don't try to be somebody else. I made that mistake, and it's a lesson I learned later on in life. You want to be the best you can possibly be. That's the information I can give.
That's great. George A. Romero was one of the visionaries behind Night of the Living Dead. What do you remember most about him?
What I remember is his wonderful energy. And that man never stopped. He could work for hours and hours. I also remember that he smoked like a chimney. And thank God, eventually he stopped. But that was later on in life. I also remember that George gave us actors a great deal of freedom. He would tell us what he wanted in a scene. The important particulars that we were to include in that. If we had dialogue, great, we'd have to know that, but a lot of times it was improvisation. He gave us the freedom to give what we felt was what he wanted. As a young actress, that was quite a gift to have him say, these are the particulars I want to include in this scene. Now, you give me what you think it is. I love that about him.
That's very nice. In addition to acting, you have enjoyed success with your own business communications company, O'Dea Communications. Tell us how you switched gears from art to the business world.
Rodeo, I don't think I ever switched because I did theater at night, then I worked communications during the day. How I got into that field was really accidental. It was because I was doing a show, The Sound of Music. I was playing Maria. The run came to an end, but I had to continue to pay the mortgage on my house. I had to support my children. I had to find work because there wasn't a new show coming down the pike. I interviewed at Hughes Aircraft Company. I was willing to take whatever I could to support the family. I ended up heading their oral presentations department for over 20 years. I never dreamed that I would have a second career that I loved as much as I've always loved entertainment. But there was something so exciting to help people in the corporate world to stand up and present their ideas as effectively as they could. Because presenting is a very frightening thing for a lot of people to do. But my being on the stage gave me a wonderful background. So I drew from that background in order to create my own training and my own company.
That's really interesting. You have appeared in multiple films, been on television and radio, and acted on stage. Of all the projects you have been a part of to date, which one is your favorite and why?
Oh, wowie, that's a tough one. One of the most exciting for me and challenging for me was playing Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady. I don't know if you're familiar with that. That's an old musical by Lerner and Lowe that came out way before you were born. But it's based upon Pygmalion. It was vocally a big challenge for me, and also the acting was exciting and wonderful. I love that role. One of the dramatic roles I've played is in Doubt, a Parable. Possibly you've seen that on the screen with Meryl Streep. She plays a nun who is quite upset with one of the priests. It was a very challenging role, one that I'm glad I had an opportunity to play.
That's great. The Centers for Disease Control has a plan for the zombie apocalypse. What is Judith O'Dea's plan to survive a real-life zombie apocalypse?
I guess I'd want to get my family together. My son John is very much into things like that, so I trust him to know where to go and what to do. But getting that family together is what I do.
Oh, that's nice. Most of your film's work is in the horror genre. What does Judith O'Dea find scary?
Oh. One of the scariest things I did in Night of the Living Dead was the scene when Johnny, my brother, has been killed. He comes back, and you see his hand come around the door. The zombies are attacking us. His hand comes around, he has that black driving glove on. You see his face looking at me. When he grabbed me, Rodeo, it scared me, truly scared me. He pulled me out amongst all those, we call them ghouls back then. That was one of the most frightening scenes I've ever filmed.
Oh.
It's all because of that doggone driving glove, Russ.
Of all the sequels, prequels, and remakes, what version of Night of the Living Dead or zombie movie do you like the most?
You know, we have Night of the Living Dead, the original, 1968. We also have Night of the Living Dead remake that came out, I believe it was in 92. I cannot tell you favorites because they stand alone as two distinctly unique films. Coming out in 92, the world was different then. Women acted differently back then. Therefore, that version of Night of the Living Dead, I think, is unique unto itself because of the time it came out. But if I could tell you a little secret, I really love the original. I love what George did with it. I loved the effort we all put into it. And look what's happened to it. It's hung around for over 50 years. It's right there in my heart.
That's fantastic. Where will fans have an opportunity to see you next?
Ooh. A film is coming out in 2020 called Kill Giggles. If you don't like clowns, you're going to love this film because they try to get rid of every clown that ever lived. And I'm a part of it. Although I'm not a clown and I don't get, no, I'm not going to tell you that. That would be a spoiler alert. But Kill Giggles coming out. That's my latest film.
That's great to know. What is your favorite guilty snack food?
Oh, guilty snack food. I think Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. It has peanut butter, which I live for, and it has chocolate, which I die for.
Thank you to my very special guest, Judith O'Dea, for joining the Drive-Thru. Until next time, that's a wrap. Thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you, sweetheart. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
We want to thank you for doing what you do. We want to thank you each and